Welcome, 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 all you entertainment holics out there in radio and television land. It is time yet again for another thrilling, exciting installment of, you guessed it, Wicked Entertaining, coming at you live every week on Rock Rage Radio. We are featured from 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. That is 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, only on Rock Rage Radio. But we are syndicated on the following radio and podcast sites: iHeartRadio, SiriusXM, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iTunes, Spotify, Audible, Spreaker, Podbean, Blog Talk Radio, and Stitcher, and TuneIn, amongst many, many other sites. We're also featured on the following video sites: YouTube, Vimeo, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram TV. And we are distributed by Sony Music Entertainment, Sony Music Publishing, The Orchard by Sony, Art 19, BMG, and 50/50 Global Music Incorporated. I am your hostess, Jennifer DeVoe Muse, aka Jenny. I'm joined this evening by one of our co-hosts, but our regular co-host that we have on the show would be James Muse, aka the Muse. Together we're Jenny and the Muse. Then we also have Greg Coster, radio host and producer. We have Derek Webb, actor, producer, and fitness trainer. We have the sultry songstress, Amy Bowman, who will be on tonight's episode. And then we have the Mac Daddy of Metal, Shyler Staver, who's on here and there. Tonight, our featured guest for Wicked Entertaining is none other than rock host. She's a radio host. She is an illustrator. She is an author, amongst many, many other things. And she's one of my really good friends. Let's bring her on tonight. Dilly Briggs from the Dilly News Rock Show on she's on Rocker's Edge Radio as well as Kaotic Radio. Hey, how's it going?
Woo,
Let's
all
see.
right. Hello. Thank
Are
you
you
so much
there?
for the intro.
Are you there, Amy? Is she there? Like, are you there,
Tiny
Amy?
man, Amy. Thank you so much for having me on, Jennifer, and
You're
everybody
welcome.
else. Amy. Oh, hopefully Amy will pop back in later. But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much for the intro. I loved it. I'm so excited to
Oh yeah.
be, on, being interviewed today. I'm so
Hell
used to
yeah.
being the one doing the interview instead of
Right?
being interviewed that
I
it's,
know.
a little nervous for me, a little nerve wracking because I'm not really sure. I don't have anything planned out like I normally would.
But that's
Sort
the
of
fun
like
about my show is you never know what to expect.
exactly.
And I just go with the flow, and it's a conversation, not an
That's
interview.
right. We're
We
gonna
just
fly by the
have
seat of our
fun.
pants
It's like
today.
girlfriends talking and shooting the shit about awesome stuff that we like to talk about, our careers and entertainment and whatnot. So so tell people a little bit more about you and your show, first of all.
Okay. Well, I have a show called the Dilly News Rock Show. Let me see it this way. As you can see
I
right
love it.
here on this
That
mural that
is
was
such
made
an
specifically for
awesome,
me,
it's
the
fucking
Dilly News
awesome.
Rock Show. It is a interviewing show. Like you. I do a lot of interviews with a lot of musicians, comics, producers, different artists from all over the world. And
Hell
my
yeah.
show is featured on Rocker's Edge Radio, and it's also
Yes.
featured on Chaotic Radio. So it started, well, Rocker's Edge Radio, so for those that don't know, is actually the new sister rock station to Chaotic Radio. And Chaotic Radio has been around for like, I don't know, 15 years or so. It's been
Wow.
established for like a really long time and
That's
stuff.
awesome.
And yeah, so they started expanding and they wanted to do new sister stations. So they switched my Dilly News Rock Show over to Rocker's Edge Radio. And
Mm.
actually, I was given a huge promotion when they did
Nice.
that because they asked me also to become the host. So I'm
That's
kind of the face
awesome.
and the host of Rocker's Edge Radio too. So it's not just my little
Nice.
show. I get to host on it and do all kinds of cool, fun stuff. So I love
That's
it. It's great.
amazing.
Yeah,
That
it's a
is
great
wonderful.
opportunity, and I'm so grateful and thankful, to be able to do this because, as you know, of course, it's really hard to be able to get into stuff
Yeah.
like this. And
Yes. Yes.
you know how hard that
All started for me with an audition at a local radio station in Hollywood, California, in March of 2022, and
nice.
it began my journey.
Very
Let's
nice.
see.
Yeah, mine began
Are you?
back in
Are you? Yeah,
2015. almost
Oh,
7 years. Almost, we're going to be coming up to 8 years soon of
awesome.
me doing this as well. I start into review writing. Initially, I did review writing because I'm very open about being to telling people and letting them know I am an autism family. I'm
Mm,
open about telling people that I am a special needs family. I do have a
right.
special needs daughter, older daughter with autism and epilepsy. Unfortunately, the epilepsy
Oh,
is the
I know. And
autism.
she's such a good kid too.
Yeah,
She really is.
she's a great girl.
Both your
She's
kids are
great,
awesome.
right? My
I love
kids are great.
Tommy. I love him. Yeah, I love both your kids. They're
Yeah, and so
amazing.
they had little things, and issues. So because of that, like my whole career, everything I was doing in life, I like right now. I mean, I am a florist, a wedding coordinator, and florist by
Oh,
trade.
that's wonderful.
So I got degrees all over the place because I had to keep switching careers because
Right,
of my children's diagnosis at different
right,
times. And
right.
I could have done, it's everything is really hard anyways. But instead
Mhm.
of just giving up and going into depression about what's going on and having to
Right.
learn, I mean, I did that, of course. But
Yeah.
after that, it was like, okay, I had my boohoo time. Now I need to get off my ass and do something and,
Right.
whatever. So I had to go and change careers. And in that
Mm,
process of having to stay home and become an autism expert and
right.
therapist and learn how to do all these ins and out things for my family, which
Mhm.
of course I would always do anyways because it's my family,
Right. Yeah.
but in the process, I lost my outside 9 to 5 type of job.
Yeah. Right. Because everything
And
became about the kids.
yeah,
That was
it,
another thing that you and I bonded over, as we both have
yep,
special needs children.
exactly. We,
And
we understand
so,
where we're coming from.
yeah, so I mean, I guess he wasn't technically diagnosed with autism, but he has all the same traits of
Yes.
it, social, awkwardness and hard
It
time
doesn't matter
keeping
the
and
diagnosis. What
maintaining.
matters is that there's
Yeah.
some issues that they need
Yeah.
help with.
Yeah, and I mean, he does have both my children have mental health issues. They get that from me, unfortunately. Suffer with things like bipolar and anxiety and other stuff like that. So, for all
Yep.
those people out there that don't understand people like us, like your kids or me or my kids or anything like that, then, fuck them. I'm sorry, but you just obviously, have not been tested. Maybe God doesn't give a shit about you like that, and you're not worthy of testing. You know what I'm saying? Like we're real people that have real issues with our kids and stuff like that. And we've persevered and we've been strong and we've done what we needed to do for our families. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And I say it to my special needs community a lot. You know what? We always end up having to do 2 to 3 times as much work as the typical
Yeah.
because we don't have that average life. We have a lot
Yeah.
more, and sometimes we have things. Even I have ADHD myself, and it
Right,
wasn't until I
exactly.
had to delve into this world and learn about all this stuff. I'm like, that's just like
You
mom. You
learned
got
more
that from
about
me. Like, oh,
yourself in the
oh, don't worry
process.
about it. You get that from me. You get that from me. And then it
Yeah.
finally hit me. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
you get
You
that
get
from
that
me.
from me.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
That
But
difference.
in order
But
to help our children, we have to work on ourselves too, though. We
yes,
have to make sure that because if we're not healthy mentally and physically, then how can our children be that?
yeah,
So we have to
they
take
look
care
to
of
you
ourselves.
for that
Yeah,
guidance.
it's just like being on an airplane. You have to put your mask on first before you do anybody else's because at the end of the day, you're not going to help anybody if you pass the fuck out.
Exactly,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? So
It's a good
you have to put
analogy.
your mask on first and then help your children. And that's,
Exactly.
you
So that's
same
kind of what
thing.
I had to do, and I had to
Yeah.
delve in to learn all this stuff. But then at the same time, I also had to decide if I just didn't want to have an outside career anymore. And I was like, no, I don't
Right.
want to do that either because I
Right.
want to show my kids you can still do anything you want.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to take a different route and you have to do it differently. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of what I did. So, in the process of being home and doing all this other stuff in my private life and being that, mental health expert in that part of my life,
Right.
I did take courses and I went to the Institute of Children's Literature. I
Oh,
did
wow.
take the home study courses for that. It is college accredited.
That's
And I
awesome.
graduated with that. So this way I was able to still study something different. And I figured I'd be
Mhm.
writing from home so that
That's
I could
awesome.
still be able to do something. And
Right.
upon graduation, which was really cool, I didn't know until I graduated that I was offered by two instructors. I was
Mhm.
offered at the time to continue my writing and my learning with their Long Ridge sister school, the Long Ridge Writers Group, which
Oh,
was a
wow.
sister school. And they said they only asked only the graduates that went on for that one were ones that were recommended by their instructors. So
Wow.
two of my instructors recommended me to continue, and so I continued on into adult genre writing and
Nice.
magazine market strategy writing,
That's
which is what
awesome.
took my review writing into the public eye.
Right.
And that's where I was able to make my jump. I answered a call for CS magazine. They were looking for writers,
Awesome.
they needed interns and everything, and I knew the person that was also involved in that, and and
Mm.
starting that up. So I said, okay, you know what? Gonna put my writing degree to work. Let's see where it takes
Right.
me and where it
Hell
goes.
yeah.
I have to do something. And so I started writing with CS Mag. I was there for a full year, and my
Hmm.
review writing was coming out. And I already was constantly using music in my life. I grew
Right.
up in Orange County band family. They rode the cusp of fame, Visitor. They opened for
Wow.
Tesla, Lizzie Borden, all that. So I
That's
did
amazing.
grow up in an OC band family that was right there,
Mm.
on that edge. And so I kind of already know the ins and outs myself,
Right.
always kind of being in that. And
Yeah.
to me, when I was younger and finding that music group, that people of music, that loved music and didn't care about the oddities,
Right.
that's where I found my home.
Right.
Being different, it was obvious when I was younger, a little bit more when I was younger.
Yeah, me too.
Nobody
I've
knew
always
what
been the different
different
one.
was.
Always been the weird, different, eccentric one, the one who always, marched to the beat of her own drummer, did her own thing when she wanted to, and if anybody tried to stop her, go fuck yourself, get out of my way,
Yep,
because I'm gonna
exactly.
push through like a bulldozer. So you might want to move before I mow you down.
Right.
I mean, you just
You know,
gotta like be that type of person sometimes,
You do. You do.
I had,
And as a
yeah,
child, I had some hindrance on it, but honestly, as the adult, it excels me. It helps
right,
excel me to take that different path, to do whatever is, different, but still go out and find a way to do it. Because I feel like I have to do this. I have no
right,
choice. I have to keep going. Like you and I
right,
you said, we have different families, so we have no choice but to keep doing things, even if
yeah,
we're tired, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
So but all of that ended up taking me into review writing, public review writing.
right,
And sooner or later, because people already knew me, I was always at music shows and things like that
mhm,
anyways, so people were recognizing me and stuff. And when I started doing review writing, I got pretty good at it, and we started getting a lot of notoriety on the CS Mag about it. And soon artists started reaching out to us
wow,
instead of me constantly reaching out to them.
that's
And
amazing,
I'm like, I'm gonna write a review about the show anyways. Wouldn't you rather put your input?
right,
And it
right,
kind of took off from there, and everything was really good. And so it just a lot of different change up. At one point I also became a co-owner of the Subject Press. I also had a
right,
media site business for a little while, a couple of years.
right, right,
And then life changes, things happen, even the pandemic, all that stuff.
yeah,
I was able to jump to Chaotic Radio, and
right,
I co-hosted there on another person's music show. I was asked to co-host for a little while, and I did. And then once that show ended, the owner of the station asked me to stay and expand my segment.
right,
That he really liked me, and I didn't know at the time though that they were planning to do different sister stations.
oh yeah,
So I didn't realize that they were already looking at me as the host. And so when he asked me to stay and kind of help, jump to the other side to the sister station at Rockers Edge
right,
Radio and host there, it was
right,
like a huge jump and just like this big promotion for me. And I was
right,
so grateful and thankful, and just like, wow, really? You want me to host? You're gonna put all that confidence in me?
right.
And then of course there goes my anxiety. Oh no, oh no, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this?
You can do anything. You know what I mean? You're very talented in many different facets, many
Oh,
different
thank you.
things, and that's a testament to you and your abilities and as a person, that what I mean, that they see that in you. They saw more in you. They're like, "Oh, she's awesome," and everybody loves you. You know that. Like every band I talk to, always says how awesome you are. So that's a good thing.
And that's, it's really good to hear, because then it feels like, at least I feel that there is mutual respect with the people that I do interview and stuff, because like you, I do my best to, promote them as best I can. I do
Right.
whatever from advocacy for the music community,
Yeah.
just like I do for the autism community. And I work really hard to put all that stuff out, and people think, oh, it's no big deal, but no, it's taken 8 years
Yeah.
to get to this point. It's not
Yeah.
something that just happens overnight. It's taken a
No,
long time.
very true. It took me a lot of time, like I didn't just start off with Sony Music Entertainment. I worked my way up to that, and I joined them June of last year,
Yes, and congratulations.
2021.
That was
That's,
such a huge,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
thing.
that's big. And now I'm with Rock Rage Radio, which is a bigger market for me than LA Talk Radio was, and I love LA Talk Radio, and that was my home for 5 years, and I love them, and I wish them all the best. But it was just I kind of outgrew, became a big fish in a small pond, so now it's like time to. I was no longer a tadpole. Now I'm like, a bigger fish.
I
So
go
now it's
full
time to,
upstream.
and sometimes you outgrow things, and now, okay, you have to realize now it's time to move on and do something else,
Yeah, and if
and
you're
I,
given that opportunity, you have to
yeah,
take that opportunity, because if you
yeah,
don't, down the
yeah,
line,
you're
you're going to
just
regret
screwing
and say, "Oh,
yourself.
what if I did that? What if I
Yeah,
took that jump? It could so much, different line, different. I could have had a different path. So
I
I
could have
feel
jumped
that
sooner.
it's good to
I could have
take that
jumped
jump.
way. I could have jumped way sooner. The owner of Rock Rage Radio been trying to get me away from there for a long time, and
Well, you're in
I
demand.
was being stubborn, I guess, and I was just, like I got stuck in that mindset of, oh, just Jenny's Real Talk on the Block, you know what I mean? But moving to the East Coast, and now I've rebranded myself. Now I'm on a new, network, and I'm on, now it's Wicked Entertaining. It's just I like the name better, to be honest with you, because it seems more inclusionary. Uh,
Yeah, I like it
is
too.
To me, Jenny's Real Talk Vlog is just like
Entertaining. That's just
I'm just
awesome to
talking about
say.
my fucking self or something. I just felt like I don't know. So I'm like, fuck that. No, I'm gonna rebrand, and like now I have a whole bunch of co-hosts and shit. So it's like it's different. You know what I
No, but
mean?
that's great, because then it shows the growth and it shows that progression. And sometimes change is scary for
Yes.
anybody,
Yeah.
but
I used to
if
love
you
it.
don't take
Now
it,
it scares the shit out of me. As I get older, change now scares me where it never used to.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Moving out
Because
here to the East
once you
Coast was
finally
like,
settle someplace, it's hard to
yeah.
change.
Yeah, moving out here was really it was a huge decision for me because I love Los Angeles so fucking much, and I love all you and all my friends out there, and my concerts and the red carpet movie premieres and all the things and all my celebrity friends and all my stuff, and then to move all the way back out here. And but I think, okay, now I get to know my grandson, I get to be with my kids and my parents
Family
and my
first.
sisters, and so you have to kind of
Exactly.
look at it with the right perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not losing anything. I gained things, in my opinion, from moving here. So
Exactly, because
y-
you're not losing all of those connections that you had. You still have those
yeah,
connections, and
but
then
I
when you come and
don't get
visit, well,
concerts.
barbecue and karaoke in the backyard.
Oh, we definitely doing that when I come out there. Cause I want to come out next year for like 2 weeks for vacation and just go out there and visit all of you guys and just
Oh, that'd be cool.
spend all my time with you guys and maybe go to some concerts and some whatever, kind of plan it around some stuff and you
Yeah,
know.
no, that'd be great. That'd be great. Just make sure to give me enough notice so that I can have my
Oh, most
schedule.
definitely.
Because how, okay, that's
Oh
another
yeah.
thing about the special needs families, is
Yeah.
that our schedules are like they change and get crazy. So we need
Yes,
notice and
very much
stuff.
so. All right, let's talk about your books. How many kids books do you have currently?
Right now, I have three children's books published. They are on Amazon. You can find them anywhere books are sold online. But
And
I
what are
have
the
a site on
titles?
Amazon.com.
What are the titles and what are they about?
Okay, well, let's start with the first one. So I released one once a year for 3 years
Nice.
in a row.
Nice.
Because again, initially I'm degreed for a children's, I have children's degree, and I
Right.
wanted to start with my children's books, even though I do have
Nice.
a lot of adult genre under belt, a
Right.
lot of manuscripts that I just have to go through and revamp and stuff. But the
Right.
first one here, this one is called
I remember
Nimbin.
that one. I
Yes,
have
this is,
that
let me see
one.
if I can get it.
I have
Linda
that one.
the
I love it.
Smallest Sea Lion.
Yes, I love it.
So
That's
these are,
adorable.
young children's books, because, something that's relatable to younger children. It's about little characters. Minda, she has a little baby brother that she kind of helps watch, and her two best friends kind of help keep an eye on him when,
Right.
Mama has to go out and do things and stuff. And the little one, his name is Snickerdoodle. Little one has a little bit of the tendency to not pay attention to what's going on around him, and he can get into little
Oh,
dangerous situations. So it's up to the kids to, summon up courage to save the little brother, type of thing.
oh,
So
nice.
and then this, so it's a really cute, relatable story. And I will say I'm very excited to say that I actually have 2 5-star reviews on this
Nice.
book. So
Wonderful.
if you like, you like sea animals and you have young
Mm.
children there, this is a really cute, relatable
What
book, and it doesn't seem
what
good.
age range is that particular book for?
This is more like 4 to 7
Okay,
type
gotcha.
of thing. So like, again, these are like
Okay,
younger children.
nice.
The pictures and stuff, they're more just, I'm trying to get it in the camera there. They're more designed
Oh,
for smaller
yes.
children, for the
Very
younger
nice.
children.
I like
Then
it.
I have another one here, slightly older children. This one is called Molly Monkey Makes a Move in Monkey Town.
I
And
love it.
this was great. This one, I will say, I mean, it's fictional, but there's a loosely based story because my daughter, for
Yeah,
years, I have had her in special needs inclusion classes,
right.
in community theater classes.
Nice.
So it doesn't matter that
Wonderful.
she has, a different ability, than everybody else,
Mhm.
in certain communities. Look for the people out there. Look in your community, because there are inclusion classes for our kids throughout the community. And so she took theater dance class for a number of years, with
Nice.
different places, and she would get to perform on stage,
Oh,
and
that's
everybody
wonderful.
clapped and cheered for her and things like that.
That's nice.
But sometimes it's hard just for people to be able to have a back and forth conversation. So sometimes, just in reality, in real life, people
Mm.
ignore her. And
Oh.
so I would tell her, honey, but when you're on stage, what do? They clap for me. That's right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I wanted her to have that experience of getting out there. And if she couldn't do it on her own just like that, then we'll do it in a group, so
Right.
that you can go out in a group and you guys can all do it together and you can still have that experience. So this
That's
one basically
awesome.
is about a little monkey character who has limited speech. So she
Mm.
speaks by dancing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this one is she speaks by dancing, and it's a
I
school
love it.
play, and they get to dance on stage and things like that. So
Oh.
just to show the graphics again, it's just really cute little. I'm trying to get it in the camera view right there. So that's
Nice.
Molly Monkey Makes a
I
Move
love
in
it.
Monkey Town, because she's a little dancer and she decides to go out and dance on stage no matter what anybody says, like you said.
That's wonderful.
And then on my last book, which I recently had, this was published just last year. This
Oh, I
one is
love it.
called My Doodle Dog Says, and I've been told by a lot of people this
Oh,
is their favorite one.
it's
Um,
adorable.
yeah, because this one is it's based on a service dog book.
Oh,
We
okay.
we ourselves have a huge service dog for my
I know.
daughter.
I love that dog. I love that dog. He's so huge, and
He
his
is.
hair is he's so soft, and it's just the curly little blonde hair. It's adorable. I mean, I
No,
love
he
your
is.
dog so
And
much.
I think that's probably why this book is so popular, because I do post a lot about the service dog. Because
Yeah.
again, just the advocacy to let people know, a service dog could be such a great asset to,
Mm.
someone who has a disability, and it's hard for
Yes.
them to get that communication out,
He
or to be out in
definitely
public.
takes up the whole back seat, that's for sure.
Oh yeah,
That's a
yeah.
big dog.
It's a
Dang.
giant dog. So our dog
I
is
love that
called
dog.
Scooby Doodle, because he's a golden doodle.
Yes.
My daughter named
Yes.
him Scooby Doodle.
I
And
love
he
it.
is her service dog. We did go through like a year or year and a half of training before
Oh,
shutdown. We
wow.
went through training with him. We trained with like 5 other families and their dogs, because the
Nice.
dogs have to be able to not be distracted when there's other dogs and other people around. So
Oh,
we
okay, right.
trained in a group. And so it's kind of like that. So I just wanted to bring more awareness about, but it's not a preachy book. It's about a little girl
Mm.
who goes on adventures with her service dog, and she advocates for him
Oh.
and talks for him. And she says, my doodle dog says, he wants to
Oh.
go to the beach. My doodle
That's
dog says
adorable.
he wants to eat a burger, not kibble. My doodle dog says he advocates for him. And so I
I
kind
love
of
it.
got that storyline from that of a little girl and her service dog that they go everywhere together.
I love it.
And nobody believes that it's the service dog taking her. They think, well, just because you wander off, he's supposed to bring you back home. But they
Right.
show a bunch of little, they go on a bunch of little adventures and stuff. So it's a real cute little book. It's got
That's
cute
amazing.
graphics in it to show the kids, cute little service doggy in there, and he's big and
Yes.
fluffy, and I think that's probably why it's a favorite book amongst the people that have bought it, and I have had requests for signatures, and it's really nice to see that I am getting support on these books. So
Right.
again, with any of the three children's books, you can
Nice.
order them online anywhere where books are sold, but I do have an
Yes.
Amazon site for my books that you can
Yes.
buy them there.
Awesome.
And so I wanted to start with my children's books since my
Right.
first writing degree was in children's literature.
Right.
But I do have other books that I am working on right now. I do have a number of manuscripts since I took the course for a long time. I have a number of
Oh, wow.
manuscripts that's already critiqued by experts,
Hmm.
by my instructors and stuff. So I just need to go
Awesome.
back and revamp some of those. But
Okay.
even though I have a bunch to revamp, I ended up starting another one because I got this amazing idea for a short horror story chapter book series.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So my first one, the first one is got each one will have it's going to be like it's going to be a trilogy, and in
Okay.
each book there's going to be three short stories, three short
Oh,
horror stories,
nice.
kind of like
Okay.
the Crypt Keeper type of thing. Remember Tales from the
Yeah.
Crypt?
Like
And
Night
so,
Shift
yeah,
by Stephen King and all his like
exactly.
books where he has many different stories within them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
So
I like
I
it.
got a great idea for that because some of the other books I am still working on. I have one called
Mhm.
Masquerade Confession. It's an art thievery thriller.
Oh,
A lot
wow.
of that is complete. I've got
Okay.
several others that I've been working on. One called Dakar, which is a fantasy one that I had done for my
Oh.
schooling. So it's fantasy, fairies, and dragons, and all this, great
Oh, nice.
clash of war conflict and things like that, and a whole different world because we had to come up with sci-fi and all this other stuff when we were writing. And
Right.
so and the cool thing is that they didn't tell me you need this. It was like, we want a science fiction, make it this many words, adult genre,
Right.
go, impress me. So they
Okay.
didn't give me input on what to write. So all of this is from my own crazy wicked mind.
Nice. I love it.
Like the book that I'm working on, the novel that I'm hoping to have published by end of year is called The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, and
Okay.
that's the first of the short horror story trilogy that I'm going to have. So that
Nice.
one has three stories in it.
Mm.
I don't want to give too much away because they're short
Right.
horror
Yeah.
stories, so it's not
Right.
long
Yeah. Yeah.
stories in them. But again,
Right.
after this one, I've already started working on the second book of the.
Where'd you go? I think you froze. Where'd you go? I think she froze. Where'd you go, Dilly? Don't go away. Uh oh. Hold on. There we go. What happened? Like, what happened? Where'd you go?
Can you see me?
Like, yeah.
Oh,
Yes, I got you.
wait, I'm frozen.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm just,
Too funny.
I'm happy that I'm busy right now, and I'm excited about the new book coming out. It's in editing right now. So I've got a few
Right.
people looking over it and working through the editing right now. And I'm just
Nice.
hoping that everything will be ready so that hopefully I can have it published by end of year. If not, then
Good.
the very beginning of that. And that's going to be the first adult novel out, since the first three are children's books. But I'm hoping, I have a lot of hope for this one because I have a lot of
Right.
people telling me that they're really interested in the
Nice.
teasers that I've put out already for it. And I actually have someone connected to the horror industry, film industry, who actually wants to help me push this in
Nice.
a lot of places once it's done. So I can't say who. It's a private silent
Dang
partner.
it.
I got a silent possible supporter that, again, connected to the horror film industry and really is interested in pushing this with me once it's out.
Nice.
So we were
It's
looking for
wonderful.
this one, not to just make it a book, but we're looking to push it maybe like indie film. And
Nice.
I have people already who are
Wonderful.
willing to play the parts and stuff like that. So I'm
That's
really
awesome.
trying to not just have the book. I need to push for more because I need to
Right.
leave something for my kids. Like literally
Legacy.
the programs
Yeah.
that my children are on, I am told by the government, if they want to continue on any my daughter to continue for certain programs, I have to plan for 30 years after my death for them to live on. I was like,
Holy crap,
are you
really?
serious? And they're like, well, certain programs, once you get your children into certain program as adults, young adults, my daughter, it's mainly my daughter,
Yeah. Yeah, right.
and stuff. But in order for her to continue, you have to do this and you have to do that. And there has to be some type of also an income coming in if she's not on certain programs. And I'm like, I can't even plan for 30 years from my own life from
Jeez.
now.
Lord,
How am I
eh?
supposed to plan all that in the future if I can't even plan what's going to happen tomorrow?
Very true.
So for me, it's just I'm really trying to push this through because I don't want them to just be books. Once the adults books come out, especially this one, because it's going to have that possibility and opportunity to constantly be changing up. I
Right.
have a silent supporter who really wants to help me push this, and
That's awesome.
fingers crossed, you'll see that soon.
Yeah, that would
And
be awesome.
in the near future. So I've got things in my head that I am working towards. It's not just
Right.
the radio show, but I am
Yeah.
extremely grateful for that. Again, I'm on Rockers Edge Radio, and the visuals go up on Chaotic Radio on their YouTube channels, so that the visual is still there and the audio is ran on air.
Nice.
And I do have a little bit of a surprise, but I can't say too much
Ooh.
about this for the
Okay.
radio station and stuff.
Nice.
I
What
am
can we
allowed to
say?
say this. I did talk to the
Okay.
to the owner of the radio station recently, and I
Right.
told him that I actually am going to be interviewed by the great Jenny Muse. I was so excited about that. I told him all about it, and just to make sure I knew what I could say. And I can
Yeah.
say that the station is in negotiations for reopening.
N- Nice.
I can't
Wonderful.
say any much more than that, but
Yeah. I got
once
you.
that happens, yeah, once that happens, I've been working behind the scenes with people. So once that happens, we're gonna look for a really great lineup coming out,
Hell yeah.
and that's
And
that's
thank
all I
you
can
again
say.
for interviewing some of the people that I manage for their careers. I appreciate it. I have a bunch more for you if you want some. I can throw
Send them
you a
on
bunch
down.
of people your way because I manage so many careers and they're always hitting me up about being on other, being interviewed, not just on my show, but other people's shows as well. Because that's part of being artist management is getting them as much exposure as humanly possible between
Yes.
TV shows and radio shows, as well as publications and, getting their music featured in movies and TV shows and other stuff like that. There's like a lot to it that people don't realize. There's so much that goes into everything, like getting them as much exposure, getting like a PR person. There's a lot to it. And I manage so many people. And I just had like 10 more people ask me to either be their booking agent and or be their manager. I just got like another 10 to 15 emails in the last month and I'm just like, holy shit. I can't even handle all the fucking ones I have now. How am I going to handle more? I need a whole team like that. But my biggest setback or my biggest struggle is finances, in the sense of it takes money to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like I do
Unfortunately.
everything independent. You know what I'm saying? Like I produce the radio show. I pay for everything. I do. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like not everybody realizes there's costs that go into things,
Oh yeah.
and they think everything just oh, because you do certain things in the industry that you just make a bunch of money. And because they always see me at concerts, they're always seeing me on red carpet, they're always seeing me doing all this stuff, so they just assume you
You
must
don't
have
have
a
a silver plate
a
handed to you,
boatload of
though.
money. You must have a boatload of money. No, I
Right? Where's
produce all
that
my own
tree? I need
shit.
to shake
So
it.
I know. Like, no, I produce all my own stuff. Yes, Rock Rage Radio has been wonderful, and they don't charge me to be on their network, whereas I used to pay for my hour broadcast every week for LA Talk Radio, because like studio production time, you know what I mean? Like that, it costs money. So I've
Yeah.
been very fortunate. Rock Rage Radio doesn't charge me. anything, like I feel more, I don't know, I just feel better about being with them. You know what I mean? Like they're just more, I don't know, inclusionary, more like supportive. They
Hmm.
share stuff, they like stuff, like they support you more, in my opinion.
They're
You know.
actively there, then, like they're
Yes,
actively
exactly.
there.
It's not like they just take your money and yeah, they, throw your show on for that hour and then that's it. I can actually be on 5 nights a week on Rock Rage Radio.
Oh, nice.
And you know what I mean? Versus only 1 hour, one day a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I could be on like, an hour a day, 5 days a week if I want to. So it's just based on my schedule or my time. So it's just, I don't know. There's certain things about being with that type of environment that's better.
And you know what, and I think that's nice, and I think, and that's one of the things that I do like about this is that we can have this type of, up and down schedule. This works for us, for
Yeah.
people like us that have that type of schedule. We're not the 9 to 5 people, and this
Yeah.
works for us, where you can, interview an artist, whether it's on Zoom or if it's, live in studio and stuff. Like, so when the negotiation, all is everything is done, and we're at that point where we can open up back again and have people come in and live and everything. Artists really, really do love that, and they love to come in,
Yeah.
but they also don't realize how much work can go into it. Some
It's
people,
so
well, okay,
much.
not everyone, sorry, more than
I
newer
like
artists.
doing it from
More than
home.
newer
I like
artists,
doing it.
not the established artists. They know the
I,
established
I
artists know
kind
what
of
they're doing,
like
but the newer
I kind of
artists.
like doing it from home better now. Like I used to I used to love going down to the radio station and being there physically in person with somebody. You know what I mean? And getting the pictures taken with them, and that's amazing and everything. But it was limiting also at the same time
Hmm.
because not everybody can go to the station. If somebody calls in, they could only be heard; they couldn't be seen. On
Hmm.
this show, you could like the guests, like we can see you, we can hear you. It's on television and radio. It's not just one medium, and it's not as limiting in my opinion. And I can play music videos and
That's
or
cool.
movie trailers and things like that where I couldn't do that before. I could just play MP3s. You know what I mean? This is just less limiting in my opinion. And so yeah, I don't get to be at the radio station like that anymore, but that's okay. um LA Talk Radio no longer had a physical radio station.
Yeah, a
They,
lot of
at
places had
some
to
point
close.
COVID when, it is what it is.
Yeah,
And I
it
just
took a
didn't
lot of
see the
things.
point in it. Like I can do this from home and it only cost me, $15 a month to, like maybe it does, it doesn't cost as much money in my opinion. I get more bang for my buck.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, there's something good about being able to do like Zoom and things like that. I mean, you're on a whole different station, so you got all this great opportunity coming at you, and that's fantastic. For me, it was the Zoom, because when we shut down, because we were live in studio, where we would have
Right.
people come in live in studio, talk about their
Yeah.
music, play it live there.
Right.
We're even able to, like, if we needed to do a Zoom, we could have someone on there, and you could still be there included with the person also live. Because we
Right.
did that before. Like, we had Francis Casol of Rage in My Eyes. He had come in live, but
I love him.
I love him too. He's a great guy. In fact,
I
a
love
little
him.
surprise
He's one
here
of my
and there.
favorite
He's
people.
he's gonna kind of co-host once in a while. Co-host coming in and
Oh, that's
co-host with me
awesome.
here
Hung
and
out with
there.
him at a Starbucks in Hollywood. That was
Oops,
awesome.
I gave a little secret away. Darn it. Okay, well, there's one little teaser that you might know. We are going to have special guests coming in to co-host here and there and stuff. But when we had him in live, we were able to have the vocalist Jonathan on, and he was still in Brazil. They still had him on the visual, so there was somebody live
Right.
and somebody on the visual, and we're able to do that. But when
Right.
you're at home and you're doing Zoom and stuff, you're so like you said, limited.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do all of that. So as much as I did like the scheduling where it could be at my convenience, because when you're
Right.
doing it at home, you have to do it to your convenience, where you have time to do
Yeah.
it, where you're not in the middle of doing this or doing that, and so that it gives a little bit of a better leeway for scheduling than
Hmm.
coming in live, but you're still limited on some things. At least I was.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I'm nervous, but I'm excited at the same time when the negotiation is all done and we get the okay to come back in,
Right.
because I did like that feeling. I did like being able to come in and talk to the people and see the artists there live, and be in person talking with
Yeah.
them and stuff like that, but mine wasn't every single day, mine
Yeah.
was just a once a week. We would come in and have somebody come in once a week. And then
Yeah.
now that I'm hosting on the Rockers Edge Radio, that's daily. I have to do my recordings and I have to, turn things in regularly. And I
Right.
am very thankful to all the artists out there, all the musicians out there that do send us their music, for us to be able to play your music. It's awesome. I love it. I love listening to the new music because it's like we're getting to have that first hear, that
Yeah.
that first crack of this new music that's about to come
Yes.
out, and we're
Yeah.
entrusted with that with that music, and not to put it out ahead of time and things like that, so
Right.
I love being able to do that and put that out there because music for me just personally it has saved my life. There's been a
Right.
number of times where I felt it saved my life and it saved my sanity,
Right. Right
so
there with
that's
you.
I'm
Right
one
there
of
with
those
you.
people that it truly resonates with me. I
Yeah.
always say, how music calms the savage beast. Well,
Yeah.
I am beast. That's what I always say,
Well, you do
and
have blue hair. No, just kidding.
right,
Yeah.
I love it.
You ever see Marvel Beast? He has blue hair.
Right, gotta do all the rest of my hair,
I love it.
But yeah, I'm excited about all that stuff, and things are different, so we just kind of have to go with the flow and roll
Yeah.
with the punches, and
Right.
one of the things I want to say, I had mentioned it once before a long time ago when it initially happened and I first made the jump from Kaotic to Rockers Edge, the sister station. But when we closed down, I didn't really have anything that would connect the show when we
Mm,
were doing the interviews and stuff. And I always felt like
right.
all I have is like, the background. Everybody's got some whatever background and stuff, but I really wanted something to connect that show. And
Right.
I just want to give a shout out to uh, Ajax Garcia of
Okay.
Erie Pop Industries
Thank you.
because he is the artist who created the mural that you see behind me here.
Good. Really great job.
Yeah,
Really
this
like that.
mural. And I have a special connection with this. There's a special story that goes to this mural.
Ooh,
Um,
what's the story?
and I had reached out to him and let him know that the station was also shutting down, like everything else, like
Right.
the rest of the world and everything.
Right.
And this particular artist is the artist who makes all of the Rockers murals for KLOS radio station. All
Oh,
those huge
nice.
giant murals of Joan
I
Jett
love
and Tom
KLOS.
Petty and
Hell
the
yeah.
Rolling Stones and all them on
Yeah.
the that's him. That's what
Oh,
he does.
wonderful.
Those are his
That's
murals. He's
amazing.
also the artist that made the infamous Viper lady at the Viper Room.
Oh, wow.
That's him.
Okay.
That's him.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very
And
nice.
and the iconic the four kiss faces in the circle. Oh my god, the name of the album is eluding me.
I
But
know which one you're talking about. Yeah,
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 the
with the
Kiss, the
four.
Kiss
Yeah.
album with the four faces in
Yeah.
the circle,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
lightning bolt like thing. Okay, that's
Yes. Yeah.
that's him. So that's Ajax Garcia of Erie Pop Industries. He
Nice.
is the artist that has
Wonderful.
created album covers for the band Kiss. All
Yes.
the
That's
murals in
amazing.
KLOS radio station, the Viper lady
Right.
of the Viper Room. He's been
That's
contacted by
awesome.
Floyd Mayweather to do all of
Oh,
their
wow.
murals. And when I had reached
Damn.
out and contacted him, um, I asked for just a little small, just something like little poster size.
Yeah.
I was just like something tiny maybe because I don't even think I could afford the ink in your pen, so
Yeah.
I
Nice.
said that to him. I really did. And I said, but
Right.
what could I get? Something so that the background, that I could, show and still try to connect to the station, especially since
Right.
they had switched me to Rocker's Edge, which was
Right.
brand new
Mhm.
and Chaotic had been established for so long.
Right.
But now it's like I'm going to be on a brand new station. So I really wanted something that connected. And he completely surprised me when he said, come pick it up. I was like, okay,
That's
we drove
wonderful.
our butts down to Hollywood because that's where he is. And we went
Nice.
down to LA to pick it up. And I was expecting a cute little poster size thing. And he's like, you
Right.
got to come in and see it. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't understand why it was so little. He should have just been able to bring it out. And he's like, no, you got to come in and see it. And then he came in and I came in and saw it. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I practically cried. I almost cried because I was like,
It's nice.
oh my God. It's just, yeah. So it was a really huge surprise. So I felt more like it was more of a gift than a purchase because he did
Mm.
such an amazing job. He put
Yeah.
my big old face. Sorry, but there's my big old face in it. But you know, got the station in there, and
Wonderful.
and it's so funny because I didn't notice this for a year later. I mean, put it
Skull and
up.
crossbones everywhere.
Yeah,
I love it.
that's his mark. So that's his thing is the
Nice.
skull and crossbones. But
I love it.
if I turn to the side, you could see the A and then Jax, Jax, Ajax
Oh, wow.
on the side. The
Nice.
side we turned to the side, and it took me like a year before I even noticed that. And then he said, I didn't even realize I did that. So he signed it and didn't know it.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. But that's
So,
big, you know what I mean? So
so
you
no
got
matter what
his autograph
happens,
too.
the day I die, I can say I made those jumps. I took those chances. I reached out to those people. I threw myself on the line. And you know what? I got some really great experiences from it. I've met some wonderful people. Some people I actually make really good friends with and stay good friends with, such as yourself and James, you know. And like even Amy and Will, the from initially
The
Fallen Fury,
Bowmans.
now they're Phantom Fire.
Bowmans.
And
Yeah.
Amy, who is also now one of your hosts as well, you know. So I
Hell
mean, I
yeah.
became good friends with them. And some people, you know, they're just in passing and they're just acquaintances, work acquaintances,
Yeah.
and that's okay too, you know.
Yeah.
But I felt like, you know, but like this instant, you know, I felt like that was really that was such a great thing and such a sweet thing. And I really felt that was because I had developed a friendship along, you know, with this person, not just, you know, in something in
Right.
passing, you know.
Right.
And you can, you know, and I just thought that was wonderful. So I just wanted to give a shout out and say that
Hell
it was a
yeah.
special story because this mural is actually a very special mural and it's made by a
Really
very
nice.
special famous artist who is in high demand, and he
Yeah.
took the time out to do
Yeah.
something huge for my little old show when I was asking for something really tiny.
That's
So I just wanted to
wonderful.
do that because I'm very proud of that. I'm very happy about that. And I told my kids you'll probably have to bury me in it.
Roll your carcass up in it,
Right? Oh well, just flatten me out and stick me in there with it, you know, just put my face, it'll be there.
And nice.
Yeah, so I just
It's
thought
too
that was
funny.
great. You know,
That's
so and
crazy.
how have you been though at, you know, doing the show over there, and it's so different and stuff? Does James still get on there and co-host with you as well?
Uh, he hasn't really, but it's just because the way our room is set up, I have to get it set up better so we can sit side by side and like so it's just been a work in progress trying to get this all set up in here, because I don't know. I don't know. We've been here a while, but it's like most of my weekends are taken up with my grandson, and it's just like a lot going on. So I don't always have, plus I work during the week for Spectrum, and so I don't always have the time to, do everything
Yep.
that I need to do. But yeah, I need to get a better setup so he can actually sit next to me and we can do like we always used to.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say because that is one thing that's different is I don't see James sitting next to you, and normally it's, you know, both of you guys kind of feeding off each other, you know. So that was, oh hey, there you are. You're gonna devil, right?
He wanted to pop on, say hey. Nice.
We're thinking of you,
Too
James.
funny. The muse. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I do have
I'm
actually something that I was recently, I almost forgot about this,
okay.
that I was recently given the opportunity because it's something that's kind of brand new that just recently happened for me.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
I am being given the opportunity to be in possibly two nationwide commercials, one for
Wow.
Dove
Nice.
and maybe Revlon.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wonderful.
yeah, because again, because I am very active in the autism community with different
Right.
foundations.
Mhm.
My family started. We run the Blue Butterflies Autism Resource Support Group,
Right.
and you know, with community help, community pitch in, and we work with a lot of the different autism foundations, special needs
Mhm.
foundations in Orange
Wonderful.
County. You know, not just one, but we work with several of them. We're backed by OC Autism Foundation. They're going to have a
Right.
huge breakfast with Santa autism event this Christmas. So for any of the
Oh,
special needs families, it doesn't have to be just autism. Any special needs families, that'll be in Garden Grove. Check out OC Autism for that. You know, it's an amazing event that is done by a lot of people in the community come together to put that, you know, on for all the community, all the special needs community in Orange
wonderful.
County. and there's anywhere from 3 to 5,000 families that show up.
Wow. That's
And they're gonna
incredible.
try to pull it off again this year, and like shortly after shutdown, trying to come back. So they're gonna try to
Hmm.
pull it off again this year. So just to put that out there for others in the community, but
Wonderful.
being involved in all of that, in again the different foundations, there is a foundation called oh my gosh, I gotta think of the name of it. It is Autism Moms. It is, but it's spelled like AWETISMONS.
Hmm.
So it's Autism Moms. Autism Moms. It's a foundation
Okay.
for Autism Moms, and the owner, the head of this foundation, has actually reached out and is working with Dove for Autism Moms awareness campaign.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, to put autism moms in the commercials, to
Hmm.
raise awareness about things and stuff like that. So yeah, so I was just recently tapped to make a couple of videos, 2-minute videos about myself and my advocacy for the community, for the
Wonderful.
autism community, and just to tell a little bit about that. And
Nice.
if all goes well, you might see me in maybe two national commercials, just to kind of help
That's
raise that
exciting.
awareness and that
That's
acceptance.
that is exciting.
Yeah, so I was like, wow, really? I mean, because that's a huge deal. I mean, to be able
Yeah.
to reach out and talk to somebody about that, and try to get that ball rolling on that, that's a really,
Hmm.
really big deal. So yeah, so the founder of this particular foundation wanted to focus on the moms, because it's all about the kids so much that the
Yeah.
moms and the caregiver, whoever is the one
Yeah.
constantly taking care of, is the
Yeah.
person that's always forgotten about.
Yeah. That's very true.
Right?
So much
Like you
focus
always
on the
come
kid,
last, right? At the end of the day, when it comes to the kids, you're
Yeah.
last.
I worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs as a single mother to raise both my children. I didn't have a real husband, I guess you want to say, that
Until now.
supported me or helped me. Yes, now, but my children are, much older now. They're like adults, so it's different. It would have been easier in life if I had maybe had more support or had more help. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just is what it is sometimes. You know, people don't realize all the shit you go through. But like, I don't know. I was just raised like you don't complain, you just sack up and deal with it. Cause I've been raising kids since I was 5. I started with my little sister and then just nieces, nephews, other people's children, my own 2 children, my I help raise my grandson. Like there's a lot to it people don't realize. And a lot of the kids in my family are special needs children. They'll have mental health issues or emotional disturbance problems or some kind of social awkwardness or anxiety or something, you know what I mean? So I've dealt with it with all of them, you know. So I've been
But
there.
then what happens to you? Wait, at the end of
Yeah.
the day, you deal with everybody else and you help
Yeah.
take care of everybody else's issue, make sure that
Yeah.
they're taken care of and they feel safe and that they're
Yeah.
comfortable in their environment. But by the end of the day, when you lay your
I'm
head down, you take
exhausted.
all of that with you. And then where's your praise? Where's your, you know what? You did a really good job. You're a great mom. This is really tougher than the average. And it's
Yeah.
okay because you're able to do it. But you know what? You did a great job. So, and that's kind of like what this campaign is about. It's a little bit about that because the mothers, and it's not to say anything bad against the dads or nothing like that. There just
No, there's
happens
a
to
lot
be
of single dads out
statistically,
there.
yeah,
There's
there's
a
a
lot of
lot of
dads that
special
raise
needs single
kids
dads
and
out there. Make
yeah, of
no mistake.
course.
I have dads in my
Yeah.
support group as well,
Yeah.
that are single dads, but it's just mainly the fact that because there's a majority of the moms that you see. So
Yeah.
this campaign is kind of like that for, like, I mean, Revlon is not going to be for men. It's makeup for
Yeah.
women.
Well, I mean,
Dove
unless you're a
body
drag
essentials is for
queen,
everything, but
unless you're a drag queen, I guess.
right,
But they,
but in the commercials, soap commercials, it's the women you see lathering up,
yes,
unless it's that, that spray on deodorant for the guys. Other than that,
yeah,
you mainly see,
yeah,
right?
right,
You mainly see the women. So
yeah,
this campaign is kind of a little bit
that's wonderful.
about that, just to, at the end of the day, you're great too.
Yeah,
They helped make this, they made it through this day because you helped them So it's just a little pick me up for the person that doesn't get that for them.
Right.
So I thought that was really really great. So I was very grateful and thankful that I was tapped to be one of the moms to submit something about that. And
That is
I have
wonderful.
until the end of the month. I have until the end of the month to complete it and send it in. I don't know from there where and how long it'll be, but it doesn't matter. It's just that the ball's rolling, and I'm
Yeah,
excited to help be part of that because I think it's really important to help up the game and be the change.
that is
You
exciting.
know, if you
Well,
do something like that.
tell everybody in closing where they can find you, social media and websites and whatnot.
Well, you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram. Facebook, it's Dilly Briggs. On Instagram, it's Briggs Dilly. It's just on the opposite end. There was a lot of Dilly Briggs. I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? Are you
How
serious?
who
Okay.
the hell else has that
I
name?
couldn't
What
believe
the fuck?
I was
That's
like,
like you.
okay, I mean, so it's just like, okay, so we're gonna change it and we're gonna put it Briggs Dilly. So then it's just a little opposite on that.
Nice.
You can find me on Rockers Edge Radio. You can also find me on Kaotic Radio, www.chaoticradio.com. On their YouTube channels, I'm all over that. I do have a Dilly News Rock Show Facebook page
Oh
where
yeah.
we do post other things and extras when we go on location and things like that. I also happen to do, since it's audio reviews and interviews on the station, I still get my written reviews out. They are published on Inside the Orange Curtain
Nice.
and OC Review.
Hell yeah.
So I am on 4 media sites. You got Rockers Edge Radio, Chaotic Radio, OC Review, Inside the Orange Curtain.
Hell
And you can
yeah.
find my books on Amazon.com, again, wherever books are sold online. And hopefully soon you'll see the adult
Yay.
books and maybe me in some commercials. And fingers crossed,
Exciting.
have the
I
station
will
for
I will
everybody
be
else.
sharing that. I will be sharing all of that once I see it.
Thank you.
I want to
I really
thank.
appreciate you. I really
Uh,
appreciate you for doing
yeah,
this and for
of
having me on.
course, of course. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so we just got to do this regular thing. At least once or twice a year. Have you on and talk about stuff.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
and once we get the thumbs up, I'm gonna have you on my show.
Hell yeah. Very exciting. I'm
Right?
always there. I want to thank Dilly Briggs for being on our show today. Radio host, illustrator, and author, among many other things. She's an autism advocate. She does many, many things for the entertainment community. So please, a big thing is like, share, support, subscribe, follow, all that stuff on all social media. Go listen to her show, help support. That's the big thing. And we got some other exciting guests coming on this month of Spooky. We've got on Wednesday, the 26th, we got Maze from England. We've got Dawn Marlowe, High Priestess. She'll maybe read your crystal ball, read your tea leaves. I don't know, whatever she does. Crazy, High Priestess stuff that she does. That's up on the 28th. And we got author Sasha George coming up on the 31st. So lots of great, awesome stuff coming up. If you would like to be featured on Wicked Entertaining, hit me up, Jennifer DeVoe Muse. You can hit us up on our Wicked Entertaining page, Get Real Global Entertainment LLC, Get Real Global Television, Get Real Global Radio KGRL, all kinds of pages that we have. Hit me up and we can get you booked because I have lots and lots of open dates. So hit me up. But thank you so much to Dilly Briggs for being on the show tonight. Miss
Thank
you.
you.
Love you.
Love you
And
too.
and we'll be talking soon.
Very soon. Mwah. Thank you, everybody.
Peace.
Tune in for the Halloween